Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oregon Panthers Boys Hockey. My name is Zach Seeloff, and I'm joined in the booth, as always, by my partner, Dan Graychuk. Dan, great to be here with you tonight.
Always good to be here, Zach.
In conference action tonight for Oregon. They're at home here at the Oregon Ice Arena against perennial rival, the Stoughton Vikings. Right now, the Vikings are sitting at 1-1 in conference. They've beaten Milton, but they fell to Madison Edgewood. Oregon, of course, is riding an 8-game winning streak. They're undefeated in conference, 4-0 in conference play, as is Edgewood. They're both sitting atop the conference. Just looking at it from that perspective, it really feels like this game carries a certain amount of weight in the sense that if Oregon handles Stoughton the way they've handled the other conference opponents they played, Monroe, Monona Grove, Milton, that sort of sets the stage for an Edgewood-Oregon confrontation. If Stoughton can make a game of this, whether they win or not, but if they can keep it a close affair, that makes it more of a three-way play.
It really does, and let's face it, for the past couple of years, it's come down to Oregon and Edgewood. We saw the de facto conference championship last time in Laban. Heartbreaking last-second goal pretty much in the last minute of play. Really separated the game out, obviously not going into overtime. But it always comes down to these two teams, and Oregon has done a great job of dominating a lot of their opponents. Now, it's easy to say that some of their opponents aren't as highly skilled as Oregon. They don't have as deep of programs as Oregon does, but that doesn't take away from the successes that Oregon has had as far as moving the puck, scoring goals, killing penalties, which unfortunately they've had to do quite a lot of, but we see a lot of success from Oregon across the board.
We sure do. Let's talk about those penalties a little bit, though. Oregon, unfortunately, remains the most penalized team in the Badger South. They've had 54 penalty kill opportunities already in their 9-game season. You and I were talking about it before the game. It feels like the senior class that departed last season. Not only did they lose their production, which was enormous, these were some great, great skaters, and in Henry Roscoe's an outstanding goaltender. They also lost that senior leadership. And just a moment ago, before we got on air, you and I saw Coach Yachman pull his captain and assistant captains into a separate room to have a little discussion. We did not get to see the McFarland game on Saturday, but the penalty genie sort of came back out of the bottle. They had some more troubles. It seems likely that Coach Yachman is looking for that senior leadership from his team to get everyone on the same page, get away from these kind of momentary fits of anger, and keep themselves out of the box.
Without a doubt, and I've been hard on Oregon all season on their penalties. But we also have to keep in mind that hockey is a physical game. Bodies are going to make contact. Sometimes you don't realize that you're getting an elbow up or you're getting a stick going across or those numbers turn and you hit somebody from behind. It's up to those people on the ice to make sure that the captains and alternates are stopping the players from mouthing off to refs to mouthing off to other players. You play whistle to whistle, and then you need to calm down. So hopefully we're going to see that kind of leadership come from the players we know have it. And Timberlake is a great captain. He's been solid out there, and we hope that his leadership off the ice as well as between those whistles is going to be there. But again, you're going to take penalties. You just want to make sure that the ones you're taking are not hurting your team.
And then going into special teams, just from the numbers perspective, we know Oregon's solid on the penalty kill and on the power play. Stoughton, no slouches either. 20% on the power play, which is very respectable. 77.8% on the penalty kill, which is sort of fair to middling. Is there either team you see as having an advantage in that respect, or is this kind of an even-up matchup here?
I think the advantage has to go to Oregon, really for two reasons. When you look at them last year, they were a much more finesse team. They were really defined by their passing. They worked great cycles in the corners. This season, it's kind of a mix between more of a grinding style in the corners and along the boards, using the body to try and separate the player from the puck. And then we see these glimpses of beautiful passing sessions. And when you're able to marry those two styles, that grindy grittiness along the boards, while being able to see open ice and move that puck through the lanes, you become something very difficult for other teams to handle.
And then lastly, just looking ahead to the rest of the season here, this game we talked about its importance in terms of the conference battle. And then for Oregon specifically, as you mentioned, they're going to take on Edgewood at Laban on Thursday, so just 2 days from now. Coming up, they've got Onalaska and Aquinas, the Aquinas Co-op, both solid teams out in the La Crosse area that they will have to play in La Crosse. Madison West is coming up on the schedule. They'll have another game against Edgewood here at home. Lot of heavier teams than they have faced early in the season. They faced some of their lighter opponents, and we talked about, Monroe, Monona Grove not having the same kind of established programs. how do you prepare yourself to go into sort of the teeth of the schedule there, especially in a game like this where you have a real conference rival?
Well, I think that's where the physicality of Oregon is going to play benefit because they've been playing so physical throughout this entire season. With the exception of the one game against Monroe where they didn't see any penalty minutes, that was probably the one game where they did not play the body as hard as they have against Monona Grove, McFarland. So I think they'll match up well there. They just need to make sure that their eyes are on the puck and moving it forward and not trying to just take a hit to take a hit. Sometimes you just want to put your body on someone else's to separate them from the puck. You don't need to go beyond that, especially on teams like on Alaska. They're just so good, you have to make sure you're solid.
Alrighty, folks, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the start of this game. You're watching OCAmedia's coverage of Oregon Panthers boys hockey. Don't go anywhere.
OHS Varsity hockey game between the Stoughton Vikings and your Oregon Panthers. Tonight's game is refereed by Eric Dubois and Rich Greenlee. Assisted on the line by David Carter. And now for your starting lineups. For Stoughton, in goal, number 35, Carson Royce. At defense, number 4, Chad Clark. At defense, number 6, James Sutton. At forward, number 3, Jared Bauer. At forward, number 14, Austin Sealing. And at forward, number 18, Nolan Staplefeldt. Stoughton is coached by head coach Chris Rochelt and assisted by Brett Qualley. And now for your Oregon Panthers. In goal tonight, number 29, a junior, Hunter Newton. At defense, a senior, number 6, Hayden Bell. At defense, a junior, number 12, Gage Shilton. At forward, number 16, a junior, Jake Fountain. At forward, number 18, a junior, Matthew Strassman. And at forward, a senior, number 24, Andy Zalmick. Oregon is coached by Mike Yakman and assisted by Tony Liebert and Megan Bateman. If you'll please rise, remove your hats, and face the flag for the national anthem. Let's play hockey.
Come on. Oh, there we go.
There we're back.
Sorry, everybody. A little technical difficulty there. Zach Seeloff and Dan Graychuck here with you. Thank you for joining us on Oregon Panthers Boys Hockey. We're just getting ready to get underway. Dan, same thing as always. First drop of the puck, who do you anticipate taking an early advantage here?
I think Oregon's going to come out with a lot of fire tonight. I think they want to keep a good roll going after the game in McFarland. They want to try and find some good foundation to build going into Thursday. And everybody always says we're only looking at one game at a time, but I can tell you that generally isn't the case. You're always looking down that schedule. That's an important game to them. So I think they're going to look out to come out with a lot of fire and start moving that puck very fast.
Excellent. I'm just going over my roster here last second, scratching off those players that aren't coming for Stoughton. They have an extensive roster because they play players both ways, but now I think we're ready to go. A bit of a different line to start with for the Panthers, but nothing we haven't seen before necessarily. Andy Ziamek, Jake Fountain, Matt Strassman, Gage Shilgen, and Hayden Bell. Not a bad starting group at all.
No, not a bad group at all, and it almost looks like they're looking to try and start a little bit of physical play and grinding play right away.
All right, and with that in mind, we are underway. The Panthers do control, and we're ready to go. 17 minutes per period, 3 periods here in the high school game. And here at Oregon Ice Arena, the Panthers are about to have their first offensive start. Ziamek along the far side, pushed up against the boards, loses the puck. It's knocked back in briefly. The Vikings send to the point where Mitchik holds. Mitchik, a shot, deflection attempt by Strassman. Backhand from Ziamek into the corner, and the Vikings send it up the near boards. Held there by Gage Shilgen, back down to Ziamek. His pass picked off right in the center, and here come the Vikings the other way. Carrying that puck is Dustin Wolke. Wolke's pass is pinched up high. We get a whistle. Looks like it might have popped out of play. It did. Out of play over the boards, and we'll get an out of play faceoff.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to end up doing a little bit of a goaltender change here. I think Hunter ended up having some equipment issues because we have
Jacob Ayers, Hunter Newton, as you said, was announced as the starter, but it's Jacob Ayers in net.
Yeah, so I wonder if there was a little bit of an equipment issue.
Not sure. I do see Hunter over on the side, over on the bench, so hopefully whatever the issue was, they get it sorted out. Off the draw, the Panthers do win. Great lead pass, and here's Tristan Hughes. Tristan's got one man to beat to the near faceoff dot. Backhand shot and a save. Good pick up on the save from Carson Roysum. Big contact up here, and now it's picked up by Zach Roscoe. Right into center, no good on the attempt from Tyson Rohrer, and the Vikings look to skate it out. They do send that one. That goes down quite hard. The hand is up for icing, and we will get the call. Tristan Hughes showing that blazing speed through the neutral zone.
You definitely did, but defense there from Stoughton was smart. They played the angle, didn't let him cut inside, and that limited him to a backhand chance, and Roysum was able to block that one up. But Roysum lost that one shot, didn't know where it was. So that'll be interesting to watch as we keep going.
You and I got to see Carson Roysum last season, a very talented goaltender. Here's Hughes with a slap shot and a blocker save from Roysum up into the safety net. Very talented goaltender. In fact, we got to see him quite close because when we called that game, we were standing at the corner of the boards about where the Pepsi sign is over there.
We really
It was
did.
an odd angle to call a game from.
It was, but it was an impressive goaltending clinic to watch.
Roysum's got some talent. Face-off coming in the far side of the Viking zone. Won by Roscoe's, back to Hughes again. Hughes flicks it on down and moves that one forward. Shot across the net mouth is no good from Hayden Bell, but Timberlake steps on up. Timberlake with a great strip. Roscoe's now trying to get to it, up off the wall, and back into center ice, send the Vikings. Tristan Hughes carrying at his own blue line. Nice little geometry pass there to Roscoe. Roscoe stumps forward. The Vikings, though, intercept and try and get it back to the Oregon zone. Battle still in front of the scorer's table. No one really able to get a hold of it. Lots of contact here. A bunch of players fighting for it. Now it does scoot out. Great pass, and here's Hughes again. Hughes one-on-one around his man. Forehand swing over the top and a miss. But he sticks with the puck. Fires it back through center. Roscoe's can't quite get it. Oh, man, and Matt Rush falls down. We got a possible breakaway attempt for Sam Wallen. Wallen follows the puck into the corner. He'll let his team get a four-man change. Wrap-around chance and a score! Oh, my goodness. Jacob Ayers' foot just didn't quite close the gap. And Wallen, with all four of his teammates changing, gets the score.
Yeah, that looked like a very innocent in the corner, just trying to wait until the rest of your team gets out there. And anytime someone's able to bury a wraparound, that's one that the goalie's going to want to have back. Ayers' skate needed to be hard against that post, and it just missed before that puck went across.
Sam Wallen gets the first goal at 15:07 in the first period. It's 1-0 in favor of the Stoughton Vikings. Face-off won by Ziamek, but now it's quickly stripped and taken away by Staplefelt. Staplefelt tries to cut around center, loses the puck, and heads to the far wall. Trying to pick it back up. 3 Panthers in the area. Staplefelt battling for it, but a nice carry here by Bryce McLeod. McLeod getting stick checked all the way by Staplefelt. Sticks with it, though, and forces it into the Stoughton zone. Zymek will have it, trying to move along the wall, no good, and taken away once again by the Vikings. They rim it hard to the far side, but Zymek picks it up. Great cross-ice pass. He finds it all the way across to Pat McCormick. Winding a shot from the point is deflected, no good, but Zymek gets pushed up into the referee, and this one coming up off the wall, nope, easily stopped by Drew Reynolds. Reynolds back down to McLeod, a bit long for him. Zymek initiates contact this time and gets the puck as a result. Zymek into center, puck bangs off the cage, and is carried away by Jared Bauer. Bauer moves that one ahead to Staplefelt. Staplefelt a long pass, and he'll let his team get a 5-man change here as Reynolds takes it behind his own net. 14-13 to play. It's 1-0 in favor of the Vikings here in the first period at the Oregon Ice Arena. Trying to get after this one is Matt Rush. Instead, it'll be Tyler Damon taking it back in the Panthers' defensive zone. Damon across to Gage Shilgen. Gage Shilgen, we were talking about before the game. Heck of a defensive player for these Panthers. Not a flashy guy, just the kind of guy that's always in position as that puck sails out of play.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see. Defensemen are best when you don't hear their name a lot. It's one of those positions where they do all the right things, and if they do, there's no spotlight on them, and that's exactly the way they like it. So it's good to see someone like Shilgen out there playing that style of defense, always good positionally.
13:54 to play in the first period. Face off in the far side of the Panthers zone after the out of play. Colton Ayers trying to win this one. He does manage to get it forward, and it's Laszlo Arose carrying Arose. A great lead pass to Damon, and Damon's skating for it. Damon getting lined up for a hip check, tries to stop up. A great strip by Sam Wallen, who had that goal earlier, but now it's taken back away by Laszlo. Laszlo's still fighting for this one. He's got it, sends it down behind the net, and gets it to Damon. Damon up along the wall to Mitchik at the far point. Back down to Damon. Damon loses it. It'll come to Laszlo here on the near side now. Laszlo sends that one over for Colton Ayers. Ayers behind the net, moves around one man and finds Laszlo again. Laszlo's got a chance for a shot from the dot, instead across to Damon at the Zamboni door. Damon tries to move into the slot, loses track, now picks it up. Hashmark shot deflected just over the net. Colton Ayers finds Laszlo. Laszlo low angle shot, nope, pulls it back, send it in the middle. Damon a one-timer, gets checked down hard, and the save goes into the safety net. What a play there.
Yeah, that was just beautiful passing, and as you watched it happen, you could see the Panthers starting to collapse deeper and deeper and deeper, creating lots of traffic, good scoring chances for Oregon.
Very good development of the play there. They continued to find better and better opportunities until finally get a very solid shot on goal, but a great save from Roysum turns it away. Off the draw, it's one. Here's Matt Strassman. Strassman works around a couple men. Pad save on his shot. Still has the puck. Now it's stripped away by the Vikings, and it's Wallen carrying it up. Moves that one forward, trying to get it to Austin Sealing. It's off of Sealing's stick, and it'll be Timberlake to pick it up in the Panthers zone. Timberlake tries to move it up to the point. He does find Strassman. Strassman's got a possible 2-on-2, getting stick checked from behind. Moves around his man to the faceoff dot. Takes the low angle shot. Easy save for Roysum, but now here's Zymek. Zymek at the faceoff dot. Fires another shot. Saved by Roysum. Backhand and a save. Skating in there was Jake Fountain. Roysum, though, good positioning, makes the stops.
And that was important there because one interesting thing happened. You watched three Stoughton players go right to the person who dropped past it. They didn't stay spread out, which gave a lot of time for a shot. Roysum had to be right there.
Panthers really exploiting this Stoughton defense, but so far Roysum has done the job on the goaltending, and the Vikings do have the lead, 1-0 here with 12:33 to play in the first period. Carrying it in is James Hansen. Hansen brushes over the top of that one, allowing the Panthers to turn it the other way, but it's sent back down into the near corner. Hansen right into the middle, but the shot could not be put on by Dustin Welke. He's blocked up by the defense. Lead pass to Zymek. Zymek picks it up. He's 2-on-2, gets slightly guided off the puck, but he'll head after it, delivering a shot here up against the wall as the puck rattles towards the Zamboni garage. Vikings look to carry it out. Panthers poking at it, trying to hold it in. Now the Vikings do manage to clear it. Welke actually sends it into his own bench, and a great one-handed glove grab by Alex Olson over there on the bench. No, I'm sorry, that was Nolan Staplefelt.
Yeah, no, Oregon did a great job of moving it in, and again, they can make any unassuming play that looks innocent all of a sudden can turn into some kind of scoring chance.
Zach Roscoe's taking on Staplefelt in the face-off dot. Staplefelt does win this one back, and the Vikings will set up. Move through center, looks a little bit of a bounce pass, goes over his man. Oh man, Matt Rush falling down, does a great job to accelerate that puck into center ice. Hard pass from Tristan Hughes, just can't quite be handled by Hayden Bell. But the Panthers one-touch this in. How about Zach Roscoe's with the mid-air one-touch? Hughes not quite able to track that puck. Lots of confusion though as the Panthers still fight for it, and the puck is finally sent out. Big collision here. We've got a hand up from the referee. It looks like we're going to get a hooking call against Tristan Hughes as he heads over to the box.
Yeah, I didn't see kind of what happened there. I just saw two Oregon bodies tied up with a Stoughton body, so I wasn't exactly sure what happened there. and they're going to call it a hook on Tristan.
Yeah, that one was well behind the play. I did not see it myself either, but they quickly make the call. Tristan Hughes heads to the box, 2 minutes for hooking, and it's the man advantage for Stoughton here with 11:38 to play in the first, and they already have the score advantage, 1-0. Face off on the far side of the Panthers zone. Dave Parter getting ready to drop the puck, waiting for a moment for a signal from the ref. Now here we go. Ryan Mitchell tries to rim it hard to the far side, stopped up by Stoughton. Stoughton will set up here on offense. No, Mitchell gets a chance at clearing it, takes it behind the Panther net, stops and reverses course. Now he's able to clear that one out. Great clear from Mitchell, and that'll actually slide on net. Royson will stop it up for his teammates. Roscoe puts on a little pressure. Colton Ayers coming. Now they send it across ice, and they'll look for another opportunity. Minute 37 to go on the on the power play as Mitchell heads back after another loose puck. Pushed up off it, but he manages to track it to the near side, send to Damon. Damon lifts it out and clears it once again. The Panthers penalty killers, we talked about them at the top of the game. Very, very talented.
They are, and they're very aggressive. You can look, that forecheck is deep. You've got deep there, and then you've got 3 more bodies waiting, so they're very, very strong on pressure.
Putting the puck down is James Hansen, sending it behind the Panther net. Timberlake moves it along the near side, getting after it is Zach Roscos, but we've got the delayed offsides. Timberlake now finds Roscos, and it's all alone Tyson Rohr. One-on-one, backhand, forehand, shot, save, shot, score! Tyson Rohr with a couple of pretty moves, gets his own rebound and scores. How did 2 Panthers end up that alone back in the offensive zone?
You had 2 Panthers on the blue line on a penalty kill, and they had so much time that he was able to do 4 separate moves, get the shot, then get the rebound, and then bury it before a Stoughton player even got there. That's one of those that you got to start scratching your head. When you're -1 on the power play, that's a bad day.
Tyson Rohr, a great play by him, and here comes Damon off the faceoff. Shorthanded goal for the Panthers, so there is still 55 seconds of a Stoughton power play coming. Nice move, and the Panthers set up on offense despite being shorthanded. Damon in the far corner moves around his man, but that puck is lost up to Dustin Welke. Welke, though, immediately loses it to Damon, who will skate it out into neutral ice, just kill off some more time here. 40 seconds on the power play, 10:13 left in the first period. Damon sends it on back down, and Colton Ayers will put the pressure on as Chad Clark tracks it behind his net. Clark for the Vikings moves it dangerously through center, and Ayers, I think, is going to pick this up. He leaves it for Damon. Damon to the faceoff dot, shot too high and rims hard to the far side, but Matt Rush right there on the line change. He'll pick it up. Rush across to Drew Reynolds at his own blue line. Good lead pass into Damon. Here's Damon again. Great cross-ice pass to Colton Ayers. Now to Damon. Shot to score! Tyler Damon with a second shorthanded goal. How about the pass from Colton Ayers in the slot? Just killer.
Oh, that was a great pass to the slot and then back again. Damon put it right between the blocker and the pipe. And I guess I'll say it this way. When you're -2 on the power play, that is not a good day.
Rough time for the power play team of the Stoughton Vikings. 11 seconds still to go on that power play. 2 shorthanded goals here for the Panthers early in this game. They now lead 2-1 with 9:48 to play in the first period. Puck drops. The faceoff is won briefly by the Panthers. Now it does come back to Drew Reynolds. Reynolds is going to try and clear this one out. Instead finds Rohr. Here comes Tyson Rohr. Rohr had the first shorthanded goal, gets knocked off the puck by the Vikings. They try and send it forward, and it does come out to neutral ice, but there's Tristan Hughes as both teams are full strength. He picks it up right out of the penalty box. Hughes getting manhandled and then shoved hard against the wall as he gets by. Delayed penalty coming up against Stoughton. The Panthers will have their own power play here as quickly heading to the bench is Jacob Ayers. Moving across to Rush, but that should end it. And yeah, we're going to get a big penalty here. Hooking coming up against Stoughton. That is number 14, Austin Sealing, whistled for it, and now the Panthers, after 2 shorthanded goals, will have the man advantage for 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you could see Tristan was really looking to that ref very quick to see that arm go up, and again, that stick got nice and high right into the arm, so you've got to make that call, and this puts Stoughton in a real tough spot because we've seen what they can do when Oregon only has 4 skaters out there. It's going to be a different power play, I think.
Face-off in the far side of the Vikings zone with 9:18 to play. Panthers on the power play after the hooking call against Austin Sealing. That puck rolls along the dasher, but it's held nicely by Gage Shilgen. Shilgen fighting hard with his man Nolan Staplefelt, and they do come up with the puck. Ryan Mitchell with it now, trying to get it back up to Shilgen instead of the point for Damon. Damon down to Shilgen, bounces over his stick. It's picked up by Mitchell behind the net. Mitchell trying to distribute, finds Shiljan at the outer hash. Now center point Damon. Damon lifts a wrister in there and scores! And I believe the deflection coming off Ryan Mitchell and the wrist shot from the high slot. Penalty expires, and just that quick, it's 3-1 Panthers.
Yeah, that shot definitely changed direction at some point. I don't know if it was prior to getting to the goaltender or if it was Roysum who ended up deflecting it up, but you could see it definitely changed direction. And that whole goal was set up by good work along the boards, grinding work along the boards, keeping the puck in the zone and looking for that shot.
Panthers playing outstanding on both sides of the special teams, and because of that, they have a 3-1 lead off the faceoff. Damon with a nice one-handed slap to get the puck into the Stoughton zone. We've got 8:45 to play here in the first period. The Panthers enjoy a 3-1 lead thanks to 2 shorthanded goals and a power play goal. Mitchell is credited with that last goal, so he did get the stick on it for the deflection. And now here comes Colton Ayers. Ayers through center ice, knocked down hard by Staplefelt, and Staplefelt turns it around. Gets that pass into Jared Bauer, immediately taken off his stick. Here's Laszlo at the blue line, drop it off for Shiljan. Cross to Ryan Mitchell now. Mitchell ahead to Laszlo, too strong, and the Vikings will have it defensively in their own zone. Dane Sutton stripped to the puck. Laszlo holds it, feeds it off the glass for Ayers. Ayers being pushed hard into that corner by Staplefelt. Good physical play from the Vikings here. Manages to get the puck loose, but no, they can't hold it. Laszlo center point. Fires one down low, can't get it to his men, but it's picked up by Damon in the corner. Inside to Ayers, shot to score! Damon to Ayers in the low slot, and there's nothing Roysum's going to be able to do about that.
Yeah, no, Roysum's shaking his head, and honestly, that goal could have been about 4 seconds earlier, or 5 seconds earlier when that pass got broken up going deep, because Tyler Damon was all alone right in front, nobody even close. And again, Roysum is an amazing goaltender, but if you look at some of the shots he's had to deal with, that's a tough one.
We got way too many men on the ice here. I think a little confusion between which Panthers were supposed to be on and so forth.
Yeah, there's a little bit of confusion there.
But now we have the appropriate number of skaters on the ice. We'll get underway once again. 7:58 to play in the first period. The Panthers have a 4-1 advantage now as they chip this puck into the zone. Nice job to knock it right back out by the Stoughton defense, but immediately Strassman able to send it back down. Puck rolling behind the net, getting after it is Milbauer, but Milbauer challenged by Zymek. Zymek has it, feed through center, taken away by James Hansen, and Hansen out into center ice. Hayden Bell will pick it up there for the Panthers in his own zone and move across to the captain, Carson Timberlake. Panthers content to just move this puck, try and find their opening. Great one touch from Strassman. Hand is up. That's going to be a boarding call, I'm pretty sure. Zymek gets the shot, hands onto this. Another huge hit against Zymek, and I think we might get a call here as well.
They should. That was a high
That looked like the elbow got lifted there. Let's see what we've got on both of these calls. We've got at least one call. Head contact is the call against Sam Wallen, number 10. We're not going to get a second call, but 2 minutes for head contact goes against Sam Wallen. So another power play for the Panthers, and boy, that is just what this Stoughton team doesn't need.
No, right now Carson Roysum is not a happy camper.
Face-off comes in the Stoughton zone. They try and clear it out. They do manage to clear it out on a bouncing puck, and Tristan Hughes will chase it down in his own zone. Minute 52 on the penalty, 7-11 in the first period. Oregon really enjoying some success here early offensively. They're up 4-1. Little crossing here as it's picked up by Tyson Rohrer. Rohrer looks for the pass, now moves around his man, heads to the opposite side, and they'll set up on offense. Timberlake at the point, over to Hughes. Hughes winds and drives. It's deflected into the safety net, and we'll get the out-of-play face-off.
Hughes has such a powerful shot. He does not need a lot of time to wind it up. He can just let it fly, and that one he leaned into, and that deflection shot hit straight up almost into the rafters.
Huge power off of that shot. We saw the same with Tyler Damon, where he rang one off the iron and into the ceiling the other day. Off the faceoff, it is won by the Panthers. Hughes has it at the near point. Drop down for Zach Roscos. Roscos has got Hughes at the center point. He finds him there. Hughes looking for the wrist shot, fires it in, and it's saved by Roysum. Still loose and knocked in. It got through Roysum. Matt Strassman just gathers the loose puck in the crease. Roysum not quite able to close on it. It sneaks behind him and tracking it down. I'm sorry, not Matt Strassman, but Tyson Rohrer for his second goal of the night.
Yeah, that shot came in with such power that he thought he had it in his gear. And the one ref who was behind could see that it was behind his legs and wide open. And Rohr's going to go ahead and knock that in every single time.
Very good call by that ref, too. That's an easy call to just whistle when it looks like the goalie has it. That ref recognizes the situation, doesn't blow the whistle, allows Tyson Rohrer to get the goal, and the Panthers are up 5-1. Faceoff is won by Stoughton. The penalty expired on the goal score by the Panthers, so both teams are full strength. We'll send this one forward. Oh boy, McCormick pushed up against the wall, but here's Zymek. Zymek across to Bryce McLeod, but a little bit behind him, and now tracking the other way is James Hansen. Hansen dumps it in right wing side, and it rims around behind the net. Matt Rush gathers there for the Panthers, moves past one man, and now gets it forward, where it's carried by Pat McCormick. McCormick taps for Rush. I think he thought Rush was going to continue the other way. Instead, it's sent right back in by the Vikings, and all the way to the near wall. 6:07 to play in the first period, 5-1. Boy, Zymek eats up a big shot there off the stick of Sam Wall, and man, that had to hurt.
That's one of those where even you can feel it through the shin protector easy.
Big shot there, but here comes Matt Rush. He's got Zymek ahead. He's got McLeod behind. Rush entering the zone on the left wing side. Stops up, turns around, sends the pass just past Zymek, but coming in here is Laszlo Arose. Arose around one man. Fast shot. No. Second chance. No. Oh, man, they had empty net. Give credit to the Vikings defense getting in the way. Boy, they had nothing but string to look at there.
Absolutely, and that was just some good patience and a very smart pass. They just couldn't bury it.
Laszlo trying to get through on this one. Whalen will send it down. That's going to be an icing call, quick icing call. While we've got a chance, let me tell you folks a little bit about OCAmedia. We're your local cable access TV station, broadcasting on Charter Cable Channels 983 and 984. There's more live Panther sports right here or on the web at OCAmedia.com. Check out our program guide on our website. 5-1 Panthers, 5:24 to play in the first period. We'll get another draw in the Viking zone after the icing, and it is controlled by the Panthers. Gage Shilgen sends down low, finds Laszlo. Laszlo turns around. Mitchik at the point will send this one down to Tyler Damon. Damon looking to distribute behind the net, feeds through center, taken away by Austin Sealing. And Sealing will try and rim this one out. He does send it all the way down. Hand is up, and another icing call against the Vikings.
Yeah, they're just having a hard time right now finding their footing. I think they're really looking forward to this period to end so they can kind of regroup and try and come out in the second and do some different things. Play a little bit smarter in front of their own goaltender, because right now they've been leaving them out to dry.
It'll be Colton Ayers to take this face-off for the Panthers. He'll be taking on Cam Furseth. Ayers wins that one off the dot, back to Timberlake at the near point. Timberlake, great cross-ice pass. Shot just wide of the cage from Tyler Damon. Boy, did he have some zip on that shot. Puck now moving around behind the net. Laszlo will try and dig it off the cage there. Everyone's still trying to get it loose, but he gets caught up in the back of the netting, and we'll get another face-off.
Yeah, Tyler Damon has one of the hardest shots on the team. I think only Tristan Hughes has a harder shot. And again, he does not need a lot of time to wind that up. And that did not miss by much.
And that was a wrister, too. That wasn't even a slap shot. That was all body and wrist putting that one into there.
I'd love to know what the flex of his stick is.
Indeed.
Looks like about a 70.
Face-off coming on the out of play here, or rather on the puck getting tied up. It's won by the Panthers, and Timberlake has it on the near side of his own zone. 4:44 to play in this first period. Panthers up 5-1. Matt Strassman dumps that one in, though. It's quickly grabbed by Sam Wallen, and Wallen will send it out. No, picked off. Here comes Jake Fountain. Fountain a shot. Deflection from Strassman, just wide and left of the cage. Great play by Jake Fountain, picking that one off and getting it towards the net. Vikings rim this one hard to the near side. There's Carson Timberlake, the captain, to pick it up. Timberlake sends a shot in. It's deflected away by the hand of Parker Milbauer, but now sent back to the point, this time for Drew Reynolds. Reynolds to Strassman on the opposite side. Strassman backhanding it down for Andy Zymek. Zymek checks his man off the puck, but it's picked up by Milbauer. Milbauer sends forward, and now this one's swatted out and cleared by Dustin Wolke. Drew Reynolds will have it for the Panthers here. A nice little crossing maneuver with Matt Rush. Rush on the backhand sends it forward, a little out of the reach of Zymek, and Wallen takes it. Moves that one up to the blue line. Trying to get at it is Jake Fountain. Matt Rush stepping up. They both move by, and Drew Reynolds will take it. He finds a wide open Matt Strassman on a difficult line change for Stoughton. Moves around one man into the mid slot, and will just dump it down and let his team get a change. Dangerous change there for Stoughton.
Yeah, they did not have good enough control to make that wholesale change, and they almost paid for it.
Tyson Rohrer strips a puck at center ice, gets it to Tristan Hughes. Hughes feeds forward. Oh, a nice strip there taken away by Nolan Staplefelt. Staplefelt trying to track it at center ice. Nope, it's Hughes again. Hughes digs it out of the snow right there in front of the benches, pushes it forward along the far side boards. Hughes still sticking this one, evades a check and comes down, picks it up behind the net. Hughes wrapping around. His shot is blocked and saved and taken away by Chad Clark. Clark heads to the far side, backhand pass, no, stopped at the blue line. Great save and a huge collision. Ryan Mitchick there, a huge save at the blue line. Now Tyson Rohrer behind the net. Feed to Roscoe, swing and a miss on the one-time chance. Hughes on the near side, sends a shot in, hits high on the glass and rims to the far side. Mitchick stepping up, tries to send it down for Roscoe. He'll carry it away, but Staplefelt turns on it. Roscoe, though, strips it back away and takes that puck towards center. Rohrer there, Hughes there as well, but now this one going to be carried by Sealing. Sealing will just fire out an icing, and we'll get another change for a weary Stoughton defense.
Yeah, that Vikings line was gassed. They had been out there for a long time, and the passing was keeping them skating, and that's exhausting. They were out there way too long. They'll take an icing at that point any day.
You and I sometimes comment on the lengths of various games. We've had games finishing as little as an hour 45. So far, 31 minutes gone in this first period. Lots of stoppages thanks to all the goals, all the icings. Off this faceoff, it was won by Stoughton. There's 2:36 left to play in the first period, and they'll look to break this one out. Backhand it, trying to get it to Cam Furseth. Furseth pushed up against the wall by Timberlake, and instead it's grabbed by Zymek. Zymek one-footed behind his own net, moves that one forward to Pat McCormick. McCormick pushed up off the wall, and everyone's just battling for it. Lots of shots coming in. The Vikings nearly get it towards the center. They do manage to retain possession and send it back to the opposite side. Hayden Bell looking to push on this one, as is Carson Timberlake. Both boys checked off of it. Now it does come towards the slot. Nice job by Bryce McLeod to momentarily take it away and prevent what could have been a killer shot. Furseth has it, and we actually are going to get an interference call here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who against. It is against the Vikings, but we haven't seen, none of the players on the Vikings seem to think it's them. And now a plaintiff, Dustin Wolke, is like, me? But he gets the call. So with an even 2 minutes to play, exactly 2 minutes left in this first period, it's Dustin Wolke that is charged with interference. Another Panther power play. They have scored on both of their previous opportunities.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but hasn't it been since Stoughton scored their goal that a shot has come on airs?
You know, you're right. Actually, they haven't even generated a shot. Boy, that is rough.
Especially when they had multiple power plays at that point.
They did. Well, they had one power play.
Correct.
They gave up 2 shorthanded goals. Off the faceoff, the Vikings are able to clear it. Jacob Ayers plays this one to the near side. Oh, boy, Tyler Damon takes a big shot for his trouble, but he does manage to keep the puck moving the right direction, and it comes out into neutral ice. Vikings control, though, looking to kill off more time with 1:38 to go on the penalty and the period. Damon has it in neutral ice. Damon sends that one forward for Mitchick. Mitchick, nice pass along the blue line to Colton Ayers. Ayers moving around his man. Oh, boy, pushed hard into the boards. But Ayers gets back up. It's held by Gage Shiljan. Shiljan center point for Damon. Now back to the opposite side. Shiljan all the way across, and yeah, we're going to get a delayed call here. And this is that retaliatory penalty you talk about. Colton Ayers felt like he was boarded there, goes back, takes the slash, and costs his team the power play.
Yeah, the hit didn't look good, but the truth was it looked like he had lost an edge or turn just as he was about to get hit, and that's why it looked uncomfortable. So it's always the retaliatory stuff that's going to get you. The ref's always going to see the second shot.
Yep. So we'll play 4-on-4 hockey here for 1:18, and then there'll be 42 seconds of a power play to start the second period for Stoughton. Faceoff is won by Stoughton, but tracking it is Tristan Hughes up along the near side boards. Fired in towards Ayers, and there's the first shot on goal for Stoughton in quite some time. Ayers makes a good save. Great job by Tristan Hughes to stick with that puck and now send it on down. Comes near side to Zach Roscoe in the Stoughton zone. He'll fire it back for Hughes, who will pick it up behind the net. Hughes moves around his man, tries to get it to the point. He does for Hayden Bell. Bell across to Carson Timberlake. Timberlake down to Hughes off the corner, and Hughes tracks it in there. Hughes dips it to Roscoe, then cuts towards center. Feed across, shot from Timberlake, no good. It's deflected away. Good movement from the Panthers as always. Comes to the point for Hughes. He sends it back down for Roscoe. Roscoe turns at the top of the circle and now sets up. High slot as he's moving across. Instead, he'll chip it over for Hayden Bell. Nope, Hughes picks that one up, tries to get a shot in, but misses wide right. Timberlake at the near point, now down to Roscoe. Roscoe's face-off dot, now into the high slot. Feed in, deflection off the face mask of Roysum, and Roysum just wants to stop that one, and he does. The Panthers just setting up play after play. That one hit Roysum right in the mask, and he makes this incredible stop.
The creativity and the spontaneity of a line like that is what any team is going to hate facing. Because you saw several times where people looked out of position and they just spread out and they kept the Vikings skating.
Face off in the far side of the Viking zone with 20 seconds to play in this period. Backhand goes over to Tyson Rohrer on the near side. He'll send up to the point for Matt Rush. Rush tries to get one in. It's blocked hard by Staplefelt. Staplefelt's got a chance here. Ayers, though, comes well out of the net to play it. Instead, he feeds it right to the opponent. What a stop by Drew Reynolds. Drew Reynolds in the slot. There was nothing there but daylight. Reynolds makes the stop. Feed across. The last little bit of shenanigans, but no harm done. Oh, my goodness. Drew Reynolds. Ayers tried to clear that out. It's stolen by Austin Sealing, and there's Drew Reynolds or nothing, and he makes the stop.
Goaltenders practice all the time their puck handling so they can lift that puck and fire it down the ice. And it looked like he just caught that one right off the heel, did not go as high or as far as he wanted, and then you're in no man's land, and that's every goaltender's worst fear.
Absolutely, but what a job by Drew Reynolds. He prevents it from being 5-2. Instead, it's 5-1. And let's go over this score sheet. 15:07 in the first. Goal from Sam Wallen on a great little, not breakaway exactly, but break opportunity. Odd man rush, and they set up a wraparound where he just beats Ayers to the corner. After that, 11:38, we get a hooking call against Tristan Hughes, and it seems like, oh, here we go, maybe having some penalty trouble. 2 shorthanded goals, one from Rohrer, one from Damon. Then we get a hooking call against Stoughton, power play goal. Even strength goal, then a head contact penalty, power play goal. 2 more penalties that didn't lead to goals, at least right away. But, boy, the Panthers capitalizing in every single phase.
They have. At this point, all they need now is a penalty shot, and they will have scored in every possible way. And again, being -2 on your power play is something no special teams or head coach wants to see. And the truth is, Oregon played that as if they were full strength, and they have the speed and the ability to do that, and that should scare a lot of teams.
I think we know just what Oregon needs to do coming out next period. They're going to come out shorthanded. It'll be a 42-second power play for Stoughton. How about Stoughton? What kind of adjustments do they need to make here at the period intermission?
They need to get amnesia. They need to completely forget this first period and leave it behind. You can't blame Roysum for every goal except the one that just squeaked through him. That one I know Roysum would want back. The other ones, he didn't have a lot of support up front. So I think Stoughton just needs to forget that period. Come on out and start the way they did in the first period because, again, they were able to get on the board quick. They generated a chance from a nothing type of play. They just need to start doing that. But if you only have 2 shots in the period, that's not a good day.
No, it's been rough for them on offense. Folks, does your community group have an event that you want to record and have OCAmedia broadcast? Drop us a note at OCAmedia.com. We provide the Village of Oregon and surrounding communities with local programming and event coverage like the show you're watching right now. With that in mind, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be back shortly. You're watching OCAmedia's coverage of Oregon Panthers boys hockey. Welcome back, everybody. Zach Seeloff, Dan Graychuk here. If you're just joining us at this Oregon Panthers boys hockey game, the Panthers enjoyed a very successful first period, up 5-1 over the Stoughton Vikings. Dan, very little to criticize in the Panthers game in that first period.
Yeah, very little. And you look at almost all the damage they did was in like a 4-minute segment. 10:37 into the first, and then 9:48, 8:53, 7:59, and 6:41. I mean, they just were on such a roll, and you can see when they get like that they are a very tough team to stop. And right now, the Vikings just, again, need to forget that first period and try and start anew here in the second.
One thing I'm always impressed with is how many different ways they can victimize you. I feel like a lot of teams have a few designated goal scorers or like a goal-scoring play. The Panthers got a tip in. They got a shot from the point. They went 5-hole on just a drive and then cleaned it up. They got a rebound score. I mean, they can score about any way that you offer them a chance. They're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Oregon is very creative offensively, and when they really have time and they have more than 2 or 3 seconds with the puck, they're seeing lanes everywhere. And we got to see that especially on that one series where the Vikings just had to ice it because they were gassed. They were moving that puck back and forth, side to side, through the middle, and it's so hard for a team to compensate for that, especially when, like you said, Oregon can burn you in a number of ways.
Absolutely. All right, folks, we're going to get underway with the second period in just a moment, but before we do that, we'd like to let you know that this program is made possible in part with support from our very generous sponsors. Those include the Oregon Community Bank, Feel Good Banking, Bill's Food Center, proudly offering a wide selection of the finest meats and freshest produce since 1978. And Dan, you're pointing out Hunter Newton starting in net here, and that was what had originally been announced, so maybe it was. And I see he's wearing sort of a pink gorget there, a pink throat cover, so I wonder if it was the throat cover, and maybe they were able to get it replaced between periods.
I think that's what it was, because unfortunately the pro shop here closed down a little while ago. So they maybe had to grab one from one of the other goaltenders or from the JV team or somewhere, have it brought in, and that's why he wasn't out here, as I think during warm-ups he caught a puck high, maybe busted it. So Ayers did real well in that first period. I mean, he saw 2 shots essentially.
Right, yeah, he saw 2 shots. One of them went in on that wraparound that just beat him to the post.
Yep.
And that was very, very early, less than 2 minutes off. But yeah, Hunter Newton, a new gorget, and he's back and ready to go. So we will get the second period underway, and we'll get back to our generous sponsors when we have an opportunity. Face-off comes. It's won by the Panthers. Tyson Rohrer tracks it back in front of the Vikings bench, and Oregon will start off. Rohrer actually tries to clear it down. Oh, it would have been an icing, but the Vikings stop it up. No, I'm sorry. Because of the power play there, I had forgotten. The Panthers do start a man short after the first second of the second period. So we've got a Viking power play here for 24 more seconds. And again, the Panthers clear it down. Haven't allowed the Vikings in these first few seconds even a sniff of the offensive zone.
Yeah, not at all. And you almost think if you're the Vikings, you don't want to be on the power play.
Here
right
they come with a 4-on-2 charge, though. Stop up at the point, fire a shot too high, and actually it continues along the dasher and heads all the way back. The Panthers will get a full change, and with 3 seconds to go, this penalty will just about be done. There it is. Colton Ayers hits the ice. Both teams are full strength, and the Panthers have killed off another. Nice zone entry there by the Vikings. They just lose track, and who else? Gage Shilgen breaks it up. A huge opportunity there, stopped up by the Panthers defenseman, and now this puck sent back down in the Viking zone. And actually sent a little bit too far down. We'll get the icing call. We'll come back to the Panthers zone.
Can you say gorget one more time?
Is this the wrong term? Is
I
this
don't
not
know.
the term you use?
I've called it a neck protector for 40 years.
Gorget is the medieval, knight's neck protector. It's a gorget.
Getting kind of nerdy in here,
Will you read
Zach.
a book here, Dan? All right. So after that extended discussion of medieval armor, we're back to hockey. And it's Colton Ayers in the face-off dot for the Panthers. Ayers loses track of that one, and a quick stick save by Hunter Newton clears it out. Nice job to clear, and the Panthers will try and chase this one back into Viking territory. Stoughton sends it out into center ice, quickly grabbed by Colton Ayers, who has to get back on sides. The Vikings send it right back out into center, but quickly turn it over. That's something I've noticed from the Vikings. They haven't yet had a good carry where they bring the whole team along as the Panthers get into the zone here and really enter the zone with some force.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it looks like they're just having a very difficult time playing as a unit. They look all scattered, and there just isn't a lot of communication out there.
Colton Ayers sends it up to Jake Fountain. Fountain into center. Panthers set up on offense here. Damon pushes it down now back to Fountain in the corner. No, I'm sorry, that's Laszlo Arose, and Arose moves up to the near point. Rose out to center point, wraps it back to Hayden Bell. Bell, top of the circle. His shot is blocker saved. Damon in the slot, the score. And there's that rebound. We've been talking about it all season. They want that shot from the point to generate rebounds. That time Hayden Bell steps up to the top of the circle, fires it essentially right to Tyler Damon, who finishes the job.
There were 2 different opportunities for the Stoughton Vikings to clear that puck, and they did not get it done. If you are given those opportunities and can't clear it, eventually they're going to make you pay. And obviously Oregon is finding ways to exploit that. It was a great shot, and then Damon just fired right into the slot and was able to bury that rebound.
That's Damon's second goal today. He had a shorthanded one earlier in the first period, and it gives the Panthers a 6-1 advantage with 15:02 to play in the second period. Strassman strips that puck at center ice, but loses control, and it's re-grabbed by Nolan Staplefeld. Staplefeld up to Bauer. Bauer tips it along, but it'll be taken by Drew Reynolds in the Panthers zone. Reynolds stick handling there. They fire it in. Zymek trying to get after this one before Sam Wallen can get there. Wallen does pick it up first and fires cross ice for his teammates. Gets it to Bauer in front of the scorer's table. Bauer's lead pass is too long. Enters the Panthers zone uncontrolled. Rush will have it. And Rush across to Fountain. Fountain stick handling. No, stripped away by the Vikings. They send a shot on, and it's sticked away by Hunter Newton. Drew Reynolds now on the near side. Curls back and heads behind his own net. Panthers looking to break out. Sends that one up off the wall for Fountain. Fountain gathers over to Zymek. Now into center ice, and here comes Jake Fountain. Fountain to the faceoff dot. Fires a shot. A blocker saves. Still trying to get after this puck. Instead, it's taken away by Staplefelt. Great pass to Bauer. Bauer moves around his man and heads to the near side. Jared Bauer dumps this one in. It'll come behind the Panthers net. Staplefelt grabs there, tries for the backhand chance. Zymek instead takes it out of the slot, skates it to the far side. Now hard up the wall for Strassman. Strassman enters the zone. He's got Fountain with him. Strassman to the point. Now stops up, feeds to center, broken up. Now behind the net, Fountain will go after that one, try and get there along with Strassman, but it's carried to the near side by the Vikings. 13:45 to play. Vikings still down 6-1. They control in their own zone, but it's chipped back in by the Panthers in the person of Gage Shiljan. Shiljan delivers a nice shot up against the wall as Roscoe tries to step in there. Oh boy, the referee takes a bit of a hit for his trouble, but he gets back up, looks okay, and Mitchik has it at center ice. Over to Gage Shiljan, who rims it in, and it's back behind the net for the Panthers. Chad Clark tries to pick that one up, takes a shot from Tyson Rohrer. Now Roscoe picks up, sends it behind the net. Rohrer skates away with it. Back to Roscoe. Roscoe's in a dangerous spot. Feed across. There's Rohrer. Now shot and a score from Tristan Hughes. Rohrer couldn't get the stick on. It dribbles its way to Hughes. He goes top shelf, buries it, and we will now have a running clock as the Panthers have a 6-point lead.
And Roysum is skating right to the bench. And I got to say, he looked very distracted for about a minute and a half there. The net was being moved around by him. It almost looked as if the securing pegs were not in the ice. Roysum was able to reshift and position that net about 4 or 5 times, and it looked like he was distracted by that. And again, after giving up 7 goals, I can understand why he just wants to be on the bench right now.
Yep, Roysum heads to the bench. He is replaced by Carter Hellenbrand, number 33, for the Vikings. We've got an offside warning against the Panthers. They have to give that one up. What a pickoff in center ice by Tyson Rohrer. But they're actually going to get him for the hand pass. I thought it was a great reaction play, but they get him for the hand pass.
Yeah, and I think they were a little off on that one because he played it with his hand and then got it to his stick. Then it was hit by a Stoughton player and then picked up by Hughes. But either way, the ref sees it that way, and the faceoff's going to come down in Oregon zone.
Tyson Rohrer looks like he's turning his hand around like, did I play that with the hand? So the faceoff in the Panther zone. Panthers win it. It is Rohrer that sends it behind the net for Hayden Bell. He'll rim it to the near side, trying to get it up to Tristan Hughes. Hughes chips it and keeps it with himself. Now heads into the center. Great cross-ice pass to Roscoe. Roscoe into Tyson Rohrer. Rohrer's shot is no good. It's deflected away, but he's able to stick with the puck and maintain possession. Up to Hayden Bell. Bell down for the deflection. Too high. Hughes was right there. They got the deflection they wanted. Just angles a bit high and into the safety net. Boy, that was nearly number 8.
It really was, and I got to be honest, if I'm Stoughton's coaching staff right now, I'm not very happy with my defense. And now
we've got Tristan Hughes that looks like lost a mouth guard, but we've got number 18, Nolan Staplefelt, hitting the penalty box for Stoughton. And apparently Tristan Hughes is going to go to the box as well. I didn't see any kind of altercation between the two of them, but I have to admit I wasn't looking at their part of the ice after the play. Tyler Damon skates over to explain. We've got a slashing call against Hughes. And we've got a misconduct as well, a game misconduct against Hughes.
Oh, and Hughes has got to close that door.
Yep, don't return to the ice, that's for sure. But I believe the T with the knees is a game misconduct penalty.
And there's even some confusion, it looks like, between Hughes and the other player in there because he's got something in his hand that he picked up off the ice.
Right.
And he's like, whose is this?
I think we're getting Hughes for a misconduct at least. I'm not sure if it's a game misconduct. And again, I do apologize, folks. I was not looking at them. I didn't see whatever the altercation was that has led to these penalties. Tristan Hughes still trying to seek an explanation. It looks like it'll be Carson Timberlake to serve the penalty that Hughes has been assessed. We've got 2 minutes up on the board for Nolan Staplefelt. We don't yet have anything up on the board for Hughes. Still trying to figure out. Now we've got Timberlake coming out of the box. Still a very confused situation.
Okay, so
I think I see the referee signaling a major penalty against Hughes along with a misconduct.
Like part of his helmet, it looks like the clip that holds his cage on somehow popped off. He's trying to get a screwdriver, so I guess it's not a game misconduct because he wouldn't be looking for a screwdriver right now.
No, he'd be out of the game. So either way, we're playing 5-on-5 hockey. We have at least a 2-minute penalty against Stoughton. We have no signal on what the penalty is up on the scoreboard, at least, against the Panthers, but we're 5-on-5 hockey, and Mitchik will have it behind the Panthers' net. Looks to move it the near side to Laszlo. Laszlo puts it on and into the Viking zone where they re-grab. So a bit of a confusing situation here. Definitely a signal of a misconduct against Hughes, but it seems like it's just a misconduct, not a game misconduct, as Ayers picks one up here. Ayers to the outer hash marks. Now cross ice to Damon. Great job to step in front by the Vikings, but the Panthers are set up. Shiljan center point, now back to him. Shiljan top of the circle, feed across to Damon. They'll trade position. Damon top of the circle, a shot. It pops up high and into a key zone, but now Damon center point, shot down low. Ayers is all alone in there. Ayers fires a low angle shot. It ends up behind the net. Now we're getting the call here on the 2-minute slashing for Staplefelt. We're listening to hear the call from the other players. Tristan Hughes getting the call here. 2 and 10 for unsportsmanlike conduct. So a minor penalty and a misconduct for unsportsmanlike against Tristan Hughes. So that's why we're still 5-on-5, and then Hughes will spend another 10 minutes in the box after that. That shot goes well ahead to Laszlo. Nice job, and Laszlo at the blue line falls down but sends it further deeper into the zone with 10:44 to play in the second period. Again, we will have a running clock here now that the Panthers are on top by 6 or more. Damon trying to get this one into center. Ayers is there, but it's swatted away by the Vikings. Now back to Damon. Damon low angle, his shot deflected away. Feed for Strassman, can't get on it, and here comes Jared Bauer. Bauer's got a little bit of speed here, tries to move through center, can't do it, but it's picked up by Sealing instead. Sealing will dump that one in with 10:23 to play. The penalty has gone off the scoreboard, but we haven't yet released Mr. Staplefelt from the box. I think there's just a little bit of a scoreboard issue there. Puck controlled by the Panthers in their own zone. Drew Reynolds rims that one along to the far side. It'll be taken by Tyler Damon. Damon will lift it out, takes a little bit of a shot up against the wall, but this puck coming deep and maybe a bit deep. Nope, no icing the call, and the Vikings will have to rim it around, this time held by Rohrer. Rohrer working his way down into the corner, trying to feed that one along. Instead, it's stopped up and turned around very nicely by Chad Clark. Clark loses control, though, and here's Strassman. Strassman into center, no good. Try again as he heads to the opposite end. Strassman turns around, caught up in the referee briefly. Puck now still trapped on the far side, carried away by Tyson Rohrer. Rohrer cutting his way towards the high slot, loses, wind in a drive from Drew Reynolds, a stick save. Here comes Rohrer on the low angle shot, moves around one man, now wraps to the opposite side all the way to the near hash marks. Rohrer now cutting back into the slot, wind in a shot from Roscos. It's deflected and doesn't get to the net, but this one does come out and into center ice. Dumped back in by the Panthers, picked up by Strassman. What a pass to Roscos and a score! Zach Roscos from the hash marks just buries it. What a pass to feed him there.
It was, and Helen Brand was just a hair off his angle. He was a little bit too far towards that near post, and he was able to see that opening and puts the shot in, and that makes it 8-1 Panthers.
All right, so let me just try and note these. So at 11:14, we got a slash against number 18.
Correct. And then he was in the box because it was still 5-on-5 until the whistle blows.
And then also at 11:14, we get a 2 and 10 against number 17 for unsportsmanlike conduct. Now a wind and a shot from Siamek. Boy, he got under that one just a little bit. Sends it into the net. And we'll get the out-of-play face-off.
And right now, the refs need to do a real solid job of making sure this game doesn't get too far out of control, because we are seeing some weird calls. And right now, they just need to settle everything down.
All righty, 8:45 to play as the clock continues to run. Zymek in the dot for the Panthers. Puck trapped on the dot after the face-off. Works its way toward the slot where it's carried away by James Hansen. Hansen cuts to the right wing side, moves around Carson Timberlake, now tries to get after the puck. It's deflected behind the net. Deflected again behind the net, and another big collision with Hayden Bell. This puck to the rear wall and now held at that time by Bauer, who sends it up to the point. They get it back to Bauer, try and feed to the point again. Zymek gets in the way. Panthers strip it, and it's Hayden Bell. Bell cross ice boy to Bryce McLeod. McLeod managed to drag it, but Timberlake will take this one and skate behind his own net. Timberlake a nice drop off and gets it to Hayden Bell. Bell move forward to Fountain. One touch to Zymek, and they send it out into center ice, where it's immediately swatted back in by the Vikings. This time again, Reynolds puts it forward instead. Oh, a nice strip there, and here comes Zymek. He's got some speed. He's got McLeod with him. Zymek to the slot. Taps to McLeod just long, but McLeod picks up and heads the other way. Feed to Zymek, no good. High slot, Mitchik, no good. Tries for the deflection off Fountain. Fountain now carries on the near side, drops down for Zymek in the corner. Now getting it all the way up to Mitchick at the point. Mitchick's got wide open space. Oh, he really wound up on that wrist shot and just couldn't quite hit it.
Yeah, and again, he had a lot of time and space, and sometimes you just want to try and put that shot on, and he just got a little bit ahead of it.
7:27 to play in the second period. 8-1 the advantage for the Panthers as they send this one out of the zone, and now it's carried by Laszlo. Laszlo's got Colton Ayers with him to the other side. Cuts in for the slot, shot off of Colton Ayers and misses the cage, ends up behind the net. Tap to the point, and they actually tap it over the stick of Gage Children. Colton Ayers will track it down. Mitchick now up off the wall and forward to Laszlo. Laszlo into the zone where it's taken by Dane Sutton. Sutton tries to clear it out. Nope, held by Laszlo at the point. Around one man, put down, but immediately stripped by Staplefelt, who gets a nice pass out to Austin Sealing. Sealing enters his own zone. He'll dump and chase as it comes hard. No, it hits funny right there in the corner with the Pepsi sign. It's taken by Gage Children. Children up to Pat McCormick. McCormick across the ice to Laszlo, and here come the Panthers. Laszlo enters, oh boy, I thought they might have been offsides with Gage Children, but Laszlo gets in onside, dumps it off for Gage, stripped briefly by Staplefelt, but Gage fights for it, picks it back up, works his way towards the slot, being pushed and hacked at, but he does manage to force it back, and the Panthers will retain possession, though they have to check up here and re-enter the zone. Laszlo stick handling at center ice, nice display, and now gets a good feed up to Colton Ayers. Ayers enters the blue line, pushed down from behind and loses track of the puck. Staplefelt sends up high off the glass, gets a hit for his troubles, and able to send across is Matt Rush, getting it to Drew Reynolds. Reynolds, a nice backhanded pass. Boy, getting some aggressive stick maneuvers here from both teams, and we're going to get a late shove here, and there's the hand up. That's got to be roughing going against Staplefelt. Yep, we're going to get Staplefelt for head contact, actually. Yep. He heads right back to the box.
And I got to say, big props to Laszlo Rose.
Yes.
He got checked and then hit in the head with the stick, and he just skated away, even had his hands up as he was skating in the other direction. And that's really what you need to do in situations like that. Again, you can understand why there's a little bit of emotion coming from Stoughton right now. It's a hard game. But again, you just need to skate away.
A veteran play from the young man, one of only two sophomores on this team, Laszlo Rose, and he handles the situation well. We get a substitution question here. Going to send Tyson Rohrer off the ice. And after the draw, it is won by the Vikings. They are shorthanded again for 2 minutes here with 5:53 to play. Panthers send through center. Nice pickup there by James Hansen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Dan, why don't you go check on him? Folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Zach Seeloff, Dan Graychuk here. Sorry we had to abandon you there. Had a fan that was unfortunately struck in the head by a loose puck. Elderly gentleman seems to be doing real well. The Oregon Fire Department, huge credit to them, came in. They're going to take him into the hospital for observation, but Dan, looks like everything's okay.
Yeah, again, it's something that happens every once in a while, and he caught it straight middle of the head. But the good news is he was alert the whole time. He was talking to us, a little dizzy, and probably a few stitches later, I think he'll be okay.
I think so, and unfortunate incident, but huge thanks to the crowd. We had a nurse from the St. Mary's Hospital, another nurse, as well as the trainer here for Oregon, whose name unfortunately I didn't grab, but all come over to render aid. Everyone was doing a real nice job making sure that this gentleman was okay.
Yeah, and again, I think he's going to be fine. Probably have a headache and a fun story around Christmas time.
Exactly. Getting back to the game, unfortunately we missed the last few minutes of that period. No scoring, but you and I, you're sort of watching out of the corner of our eye. Starting to get a little more chippy. We're going to start with Andy Zymek in the box for 40 seconds. Colton Ayers in the box for a minute 53. I believe the Zymek penalty was hooking, the Ayers penalty slashing. Lots of hits being delivered in a little more angry fashion toward the end of that period, the part that we saw and then the few moments that we glimpsed while we were attending that gentleman.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the trainer, after this gentleman was removed by EMS, trainer was asked to come and check out one of the Oregon players who seemed to have maybe had a little bit of head contact. So this game has the potential to completely go off the rails. So it's really important right now that we're able to move things along.
Absolutely. It will be a running clock because of the 8-1 advantage. Once we get to a 6-point or greater advantage in the high school game, we go to a running clock. So 17 minutes with very few stoppages throughout the rest of the game. Hopefully both teams can kind of calm themselves down a little bit and we can see some good hockey like we did in the first period.
Agreed, 100%.
So with that in mind, we actually only have 3 Panthers. Oh, yeah, it's going to be 5-on-3. What am I saying? I just described the whole situation. So it'll be 5-on-3 for the Panthers as we start. 2-man power play for 40 seconds for Stoughton and a minute 53 of a 5-on-4 power play. Draw is won by the Panthers. Tristan Hughes battling for it, moves around his man, and he might have an opportunity shorthanded. 5-on-3, just fights into the corner. Boy, gets held down. 2 men into the corner, and now this puck coming loose, and we've got a 5-on-2. Hughes has got to try and back check here. 4-on-2 coming. What a strip by Carson Timberlake. Huge effort, but now it's picked back up by Wolke. Wolke behind the net, broken up by Hayden Bell. Bell tries to clear it. He hits Hughes. Hughes tries to clear that one, hits one man, but now he's got an open lane to skate, and he's just going to carry it. Tristan Hughes, 5-on-3. You would never know it, but he's stripped to the puck there by Staplefelt. Staplefelt working his way around, tries for another wraparound, nothing doing this time, and instead heads out towards the high slot. Staplefelt feeds down low, and now they're set up 5-on-4 as the penalty expires against Zymek. So no longer 5-on-3. Boy, I can't believe how aggressive Tristan Hughes was in killing that penalty, but it paid off.
Yeah, and again, maybe he needs to take a little step back there. You're on a 5-on-3. Just clear it. I know you want to have some offensive rushes, but you're up 8-1. 5-on-3, I think the smart move is to clear that puck.
He does chip that one in and lets him get 4 new penalty killers. So with 15:53 to play in the third period, 43 seconds on the power play for Stoughton as they're trying to get a shot generated here. Falling to the ice is James Hansen, and his puck is immediately rocketed out by Ryan Mitchick. A good clear there, and only 30 seconds to go on the power play. Carrying this one forward are the Vikings. They move around one man in their own zone. Turnaround pressure being put on by Rohr. Rohr forces him back into the corner, nearly strips the puck, but now the Vikings come free with 20 seconds left on the power play. Get it ahead to Hansen. He can't settle it down. Gage Shilgen will clear it back out, and this is going to be an offsides warning for the Vikings. They're forced to just dump in. Mitchick carries, and Mitchick fires it out. Boy, the Panthers' special teams, whatever else you can say about this team, their PK unit is outstanding.
It is, and they kill penalties with offensive rushes and chances.
Speaking of, there's a fire to sack Roscoe's. Tyson Rohr found Roscoe's beneath the faceoff dot. He just missed wide of the cage, and it goes out of play. But that kills off the penalty fully, and we are back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that when your team is that solid, even down by a skater, That definitely takes a power play unit a little aback because they're having a hard time adjusting to that kind of pressure.
They sure are. Faceoff will be just out of the Stoughton zone after the out-of-play call. It's won by the Panthers, and Matt Rush carries. He'll chip it in as the Panthers will chase after. Actually chips that one on net, and it'll just be covered up by Carter Hellenbrand. Folks, OCAmedia wishes to thank our generous sponsors, and some of those sponsors include the William R. Torhorst & Associates, your hometown insurance agency that's doing big things, Stoughton Hospital, Oregon Urgent Care and Sports Medicine Clinic, trusted care close to home, and we'll get back to some more of them after the game action. Face-off won by the Vikings in their own zone, move along the near side, but it's held by Drew Reynolds. Reynolds to the far side. Matt Rush was anticipating that puck coming out, so he's not up at the point. Vikings have it in their own zone, but now it's stripped by Laszlo Rose. Laszlo at the outer hash, inside to Colton Ayers. Just can't quite get the angle on the deflection. Boy, a huge hit into the wall there. Falling to the ice is Dane Sutton. Looks a little worse for the wear. Oh, man, and then he swats his stick on the ground, and the blade actually breaks. Yeah, I didn't see that Ayers actually hit him. It looked like he lost the edge and went in face first.
And then speared himself with his stick into the boards.
Because you can tell it's the ribs that he's favoring.
Yep, and when he went in, that's why that blade broke so easy, is because when he went in, it bent that blade, and I've had that happen. Hurts horribly.
Oh, I can only imagine. Face-off out of the zone is won by the Panthers. They tap it in lightly, but it'll be taken by Sam Wallen. Wallen turns around in his own zone, sends it out into center ice, and Timberlake will have to chase it down in the Panthers zone.
Yeah, again, Oregon is just so strong in so many different sides of the puck that it's hard for anybody to adjust, and that Stoughton just has not been having any luck.
Good lineup and a hit there by the Stoughton Vikings. They move through their own slot very dangerously, but managed to hang on to the puck. Now lose it again in the slot, and this time it's Pat McCormick trying to pick it up. McCormick wisely settles down on that hit again into the slot and right in front of Carter Hellenbrand. Boy, if I'm Hellenbrand, I'm not super happy that my defensemen are skating right in front of my crease there.
Yeah, no, again, we saw that a lot too when Royston was in net, that he wasn't getting a lot of help from his defensive core. And a lot of it is because it doesn't seem like there's good communication between the units that are out there.
12:32 to play, and the clock does continue to run. 8-1 is the advantage for the Panthers in this third and final period. Face-off in the near side of the Stoughton zone. Panthers do win it. They get it to Tyson Rohrer. He's up along the near side wall. Now to the face-off dot. Drops down for Zach Roscos. Low angle pass across, and Tristan Hughes can't quite get the shot on. Hughes on the near wall, still fighting for this puck. He digs his man off it and drops it for Rohrer. Rohrer's got a couple of open passes. Now into the low slot. Now down back in. Sends in a score. Rohrer finds Tristan Hughes. They get the pass across ice, and there's just nothing Hellenbrand's going to be able to do there.
No, and again, Rohrer was able to pull two Vikings with him, which left a stick wide open on the other end. Again, you can't blame Hellenbrand for that. That's really a defensive breakdown.
So, unfortunately, things go from bad to worse for Stoughton. They trail 9-1 here in the third period. It has been all Panthers since the first goal, which was lodged by Stoughton, but after that, nothing but Oregon in this game. They win another face-off and send it down. Hughes will try and pick it up behind the net. Can't quite track it, but it's going to be taken by Roscos instead. Roscos moves that one up to Rohrer, top of the circle. Rohrer moves around one man, now back to Roscos. Finds Hughes on the opposite side. Can't quite get the push on. It was Chad Clark that was able to keep him from getting the power he needed. Hughes at the outer hash marks, curls back in and heads to the slot. Puck gets broken up, and it's taken away by James Hansen for the Vikings. James Hansen working 2-on-2 here, heads to the outer hash. Now we'll jump this one in and try and get it to a teammate. Instead, it's picked off by Mitchik in the Panther zone. Mitchik battling for it, instead taken by Roscos the opposite way, cuts to the far side, goes for a long outlet pass to Hughes. Hughes tries a stick lift, but nothing doing. Instead taken by Cam Firthith. Firthith's shot is blocked by Ryan Mitchik, and it'll be Zach Roscos with the puck up to Tristan Hughes. Hughes back to Roscos. His one touch is picked off. Shot comes in. Easy save for Ayers with the stick. That shot coming off the stick of Austin Sealing. Now Hughes across ice pass to Roscos. Roscos lead up to Strassman, who chips it in, takes some contact, and the Panthers go for a change.
Yeah, I'm noticing some really long shifts from some of the Panthers players that I don't quite understand at this point.
I was just thinking the same. A lot of these Panthers are spending some significant time on the ice. Puck comes down into the Panther zone. It's picked up by Drew Reynolds behind the net. His pass broken up, but he still manages to stick handle with it and get it to Zymek. Zymek moving very quickly up the side. Taps that one forward. No ice the call, and he'll get after it in the corner. Battles with his man, and that puck comes to Fountain. Fountain finds Strassman all alone. Save from Carter Hellenbrand. Oh, man, and then Hellenbrand is pushed hard, and they're going to get the retaliation penalty. They thought Strassman rather took an extra whack, take exception, deliver a hit, and they draw the penalty.
Yeah, Roar was in there real deep, and I lost sight of the puck, and at this point I think you just let the goaltender cover it. You don't do anything else. He did give it a little bit of a whack, which I'm not always a fan of as a goaltender. But then to come in and run them, you know you're going to end up in the box. It's the retaliatory strikes that always get picked.
Sam Wallen gets hit with a 2-minute penalty for roughing. It'll be a power play for the Panthers. With 10:23 to go here in the third and final period, Panthers up 9-1. Zymek in the faceoff dot taking on James Hansen. Barter drops the puck, and it's controlled by Hayden Bell. Center point, one-touch pass now comes back to Strassman on the near side. Now he'll drop it off for Bell. Feed down low to Zymek, looking to get this one into center. Now back up to Bell. Drop for Zymek as Bell cuts towards center. Feed down to Strassman and now back. Zymek top of the circle, drops down. Strassman carrying in the corner, tries to get it to Zymek on a little twitch play. It's confused in the center, now taken by Fountain. Fountain shot just misses. Strassman looking to wrap around with some speed. It's taken instead by Carson Timberlake, and Timberlake all the way to the outside. Timberlake trades with his man. His pass actually goes out of the zone, and the Panthers will have to reset. Minute 23 to go on. The power play is carried in by Carson Timberlake. Timberlake has it stripped by Dustin Welke. Welke, though, challenged by Hayden Bell, and Bell comes back up with the puck, sends it into the slot. Gathered there by the Vikings, and they touch it out, and actually Welke hustling after it, going stride for stride with Laszlo Rose, but Laszlo able to get there first, stops up behind his own net, moves past Welke, loses the edge. Welke still trying to get there, stepping in is Colton Ayers, and Welke just battling hard, now loses the edge as he tries to deliver a shoulder check, and here come the Panthers the other way. The Panthers with a possible 3-on-2 here. Nope, Damon will go as Timberlake goes for this line change. Damon's shot is deflected, doesn't get to the net. Damon sends up to the point for Laszlo, who pinches it back down into the near corner. Nice strip there by Colton Ayers. Ayers has it behind the net. He's got Mitchik in center, tries to feed to him. Mitchik can't get the shot on, but now to Shiljan, top of the circle. Out to the point for Damon. Damon wrist shot from the point. It's deflected away, and Mitchik will grab it back to Shiljan. Shiljan on the far point now. Finds Damon on the near side, plays it with the skate to center point. Back to Shiljan, top of the circle. Panthers just playing with this one. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Just Shiljan to Damon and back and forth. Shiljan now back to Damon, and we're just holding this one, trying to kill time. Feed underneath now, top of the circle, no good, as it's just wide. The shot from the Gage Shiljan, and they'll send it back down once again. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Mitchell controls for the Panthers, sends over to Gage. Gage to Damon. Damon center point. Wrist shot, save, and gloved. And a very nice glove by Hellenbrand. He saved that with the shoulder, then gathers the rebound.
Yeah, pops up high, and then you want to get a quick cover so nobody can get a whack at it because you had two Panthers down very deep looking for a rebound. Hellenbrand not having any of it.
Very nice job by Carter Hellenbrand. Folks, some more of our sponsors here on OCAmedia: Maria's Pizza, a little slice of Italy right here in Oregon, and Ziggy's Barbecue Smokehouse and Ice Cream. Try our delicious Texas-style barbecue and Cedar Crest ice cream. I have got to get there. Since they started sponsoring us, I've not been able to go, and I love barbecue.
Oh, yes.
It'll be Zymek in the faceoff dot for the Panthers, and Jared Bauer. Nope, we're going to send Bauer out. We're going to bring in Austin Sealing for the Stoughton Vikings. Linesman organizing everyone, making sure it's all fair. Faceoff is won by the Panthers. Pat McCormick sends it back to the point man, Matt Rush. Rush's wrist shot is deflected very high and into the slot. Swatting at is Bryce McLeod, but can't get the stick on. Instead, he taps it down to Zymek. Zymek in the corner, stick handling, back for McLeod. It's out of his reach, but instead Drew Reynolds will have it on the backhand, send down. Zymek now looking to move behind the net, getting pushed on this puck by Sam Wallen and taken by Pat McCormick. McCormick works to the outside, send to the point man, Matt Rush. Rush back to McCormick in front of the Zamboni, loses track of it, up off the dasher, but held by Rush once again, and worked down to Bryce McLeod. McLeod turns around there, tries to send it into center. It does work its way into center, and we've got a high stick call. There were a lot of sticks flailing at that one. High sticking is the call. I believe it's against Stoughton.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Which is going to stay in Stoughton's zone.
Because that puck ended up in the net.
Yeah. So the high sticking call goes against Stoughton. That puck popped up very high, and lots of players were swatting at it. So credit to the referee for being able to tell who laid the lumber on. Face off again in the far side of the Viking zone with 6:33 to play in the game. Face off won by the Panthers. Try and work it towards center for Strassman. Swatted out nicely and carried this time by James Hansen. Hansen looking to get after it. Instead, the Panthers turn it right around and send back into the Viking zone. And that has been part of the story of this game. It has been the Panthers in the Viking zone all day. Trying a wraparound shot from Strassman. He can't get it to go. Instead, it's taken by Fountain. Now the Vikings clear it out. Hansen able to chip. But the Vikings just have never been able to get sustained offensive pressure.
No, they haven't. As a matter of fact, I can't think of a time where they've had it in the zone for more than 20, 30 seconds. They just haven't been able to generate it.
Nice grab by Colton Ayers there, and a pass to Fountain. Fountain tries to get it cross ice to Strassman. Instead, it's stopped up by the Vikings. They take it out of their own slot. Now back into the slot. Fountain backhand shot from Strassman, just wide. Strassman still carries, though, and the Panthers have possession. Strassman back behind the net now, looking to distribute, trying to find one of his men who's open here. He feeds it into center. Shot and a score. Going to one knee is Colton Ayers and buries the one-timer.
Boy, Oregon has just absolutely dominated in two very specific things, in receiving turnovers and fixing broken plays. There were a number of times there where that puck could have easily been cleared, but they just stuck with it, kept fighting for it, and what a beautiful setup. And that's not a goal that Hellenbrand can beat himself up over. There's nothing you could have done.
No, a gorgeous, gorgeous play there. Strassman to Ayers, and it is now an even 10-1 in favor of the Panthers with 5:25 to go in this game. Panthers playing with the puck in their own zone, trying to chip it past the referee. Instead, it ends up back down in the far corner. Gage Shiljan chasing after it, taps it along the wall, but it's picked up by the Vikings. Nice move through the 5-hole, but they lose track of the puck. And we're going to get a hooking call here. That hook, I believe, going against Zymek. So Andy Zymek heads back to the box. 2 minutes for hooking. And Stoughton at least does have a chance here with a power play opportunity. 5:09 to go in the game.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but has there been any shots on Hunter Newton in this period?
No, maybe that one. He did stick one away.
Well,
I don't know if it was
remember,
a shot on goal.
Right,
right.
It's only considered a shot if
he at least stick that one away. But yeah, if it's more than one, it would be a lot.
So could Oregon actually walk out of this game with seeing under 5 shots on net?
I think it's very possible. There's a nice shot, though. Speaking of, we get kind of caught up in it,
right.
But a very nice shot from Nolan Staplefeld at the center point. Tried to get some traffic in front, but a good track by Hunter Newton, and he freezes it down. Oh, and now we get a slashing call that goes against, this time it is number 8, Alex Olson. So Olson tagged with the slashing call. So we will have 4-on-4 hockey for a minute 37 and then 23 seconds of a power play for the Panthers.
This is the most I've seen Oregon dominate on each area on the ice. They are just controlling every single zone.
4-on-4 here, puck in the Viking zone. Panthers reach in front and center ice, still going after it. Nice little chip there by Sam Wallen. Wallen cutting to the faceoff dot. What a dive by Mitchik to break up his chance for a shot. Ryan Mitchik just going all out to break that one up. But the Vikings are set up here on offense. It's what we talked about. This is exactly what they need. Shiljan checks his man off the puck. Bryce McLeod steps up to try and get after it, can't clear it out, and the Vikings do hold still in the zone, but now here's Ryan Mitchik. Mitchik has got just nothing but space to look at, but now we get another hand up. Let's see what the signal is from the official. He's pointing, I believe, at one of the Vikings.
No, he's sending.
Nope.
Yeah,
we're sending Bryce McLeod to the box, and we'll look for the signal here. Interference. 2 minutes for interference against Bryce McLeod with 4:15 to play, so it will be 4-on-3 here for just a little bit as Bryce McLeod hits the box for interference. And this is what we talked about with the Panthers against better opponents. This amount of penalties is really going to hurt them.
Absolutely. I mean, this is another down by 2 skaters. This has happened 2 or 3 times in this game. A team like Edgewood is going to take advantage of that.
Absolutely, and they play Edgewood on Thursday at the LeBon Arena. We will be covering that here on OCAmedia for you as well. For right now, the Vikings set up on the 4-on-3 power play, 3:53 to go. Send it out to the far point, now feed into center point for Clark. Clark wrists one in, and great cover from Hunter Newton. Newton, a sure-handed goaltender if ever there was one.
The 3 shots that Stoughton has now had in the past couple minutes is the most sustained pressure they've had in the entire game. It's something to build on for Stoughton because right now that's what they have to do is they have to start looking for things to build on. And it seems like in the past couple shifts, they've done a really good job of controlling the puck, getting it into the zone, and getting shots onto Hunter.
3:26 to play in this third and final period as the puck drops here in the Panthers zone. It's grabbed by Carson Timberlake. Timberlake looking to send it out. He does send that one all the way down. And we should have the expiration of the Zymek penalty. There we go. So now we're 4-on-4 for 20 seconds, and then we'll have a 32-second 5-on-4 power play for Stoughton. Stoughton carrying this one in. It's Clark trying to move around his man. He's checked off that puck. Zymek has it. Zymek actually fires one that was meant to go behind the net, nearly comes on net, but the Panthers are able to avoid any damage there. Send that one up along the near wall. Zymek carries. He's got Laszlo in front of him. Instead, he curls towards the center. Nice move. Gets in onside. Top of the circle. Lifts one up over the glass, but finds Laszlo in the near corner. Laszlo to the outer hash mark, stands up, and now looks to turn around. It's a 5-on-4 power play for Stoughton now as Laszlo in the set tries to feed Zymek. A great block there by Jack Sanford. Oh boy, Laszlo got a little excited, lifted that one quite high and into the safety net, and we'll have an out-of-play faceoff.
Sanford saved a goal right there.
He absolutely did.
Because if that puck got over to Zymek, that was an open net, wide open. He would have buried it. So that was a great defensive play.
These
Stoughton.
cross-ice passes for the Panthers have just been absolutely lights out. Panthers, it's still 5-on-4 here, but only as a formality. As soon as the puck drops, Bryce McLeod will be out of the box. Linesman gets everyone ready, looks off the backside, and Zymek is in. Both teams full strength with 1:54 to play in this game. 10-1 is the Panthers' advantage. Tap forward by the Panthers into the Viking zone. Here's Bryce McLeod. He's pushed off the puck. Good check, but McLeod sticks with it for possession. Trying to get this one to Pat McCormick. He's got McCormick there to help. Looking to dig off the wall. They do. McCormick to the opposite side. Sends along the wall for Shiljan. Shiljan back down to McCormick. No, it's stripped by Wallen. Wallen now to carry this one for the Vikings. Wallen heading up ice, moving very hard along the right wing side. Tries to deke around. Shiljan can't do it, but he picks up the puck behind the net. Send through center. Nobody there but Pat McCormick. Here comes Pat McCormick for the Panthers. McCormick cross ice and getting that one to Jake Fountain. Fountain stops up at the outer hashes, gets the pass to Gage Shiljan. Shiljan feeds down, and he'll get it to Tristan Hughes behind the net. Hughes in the near corner, trying to get this one moving. Stops up. Great stop. He's got a feed through center. No, stripped away once again by Jack Sanford. Sanford, a great cross-ice pass, and he finds Staplefelt. Staplefelt has it taken away by Mitchik, and here's the lead pass for Hughes. Hughes moves around his man, is able to pick the puck back up at the faceoff dot. Feed for Fountain, and it's deflected away. Stepping up is Reynolds. No. Poked forward by Sealing, and here comes Austin Sealing for the Vikings. Sealing, faceoff dot, shot, save, and swatted out of midair by the stick of Hunter Newton. Oh boy, what a fancy play there with 35 seconds to go. Now taken by Matt Rush defensively for the Panthers. He moves it up to Zymek on the near side.
Yeah, that was some really nice goaltending because, again, you got to wonder, is he going to get cold? I'm not seeing a lot of shots.
Playing real well. Here comes Tristan Hughes through his own zone, moves it up to Jake Fountain. 19 seconds to play. Fountain finds Drew Reynolds. Reynolds enters for possibly the last offensive opportunity for the Panthers in this game. They have taken advantage of a lot of them. They lead 10-1 in this game. Only a few seconds left to play. It's held by Reynolds. Feed to Hughes. Shot and a score. As if to just put a period on everything that had come before. Tristan Hughes buries one final puck. It's 11-1 with 3 seconds to go.
You know, it looked like, I think it was number 4, Chad Clark, for the Vikings, who kind of went out of his way a couple times to try and get a push and a shove in on somebody. And because of that, Hunter was wide open all alone. I understand you're wanting to play the body there, but the truth was you can't leave a guy like Hunter or like Tristan all alone in front.
And off the face-off, that's it. The Panthers win 11-1 in convincing fashion. We came into this game wondering who Stoughton was. It was hard to know looking at their record.
Right.
They had lost to Edgewood 8-0, but we know Edgewood is an outstanding team. They defeated in-conference opponent Milton 5-1, so we really didn't know what to expect coming into this game. The Panthers show us what kind of a team they are and just go out and hang 11 on one of their biggest rivals.
Yeah, they really did. They came out, they pretty much dominated from the first penalty against them. That was really the turning point. That was when we started to see that whole rush of goals, and from there on out, there was just nothing that Stoughton could do.
No, Stoughton just did not have an answer. It felt like virtually the entire game was played in the Stoughton zone. The Panthers maintaining offensive possession throughout certainly the majority of the game. I wish we had advanced analytics, but at the high school level, it's just not practical. So we'll have to go with our eyeball read of it. But with all that said, 1 star from each team. Who do you like?
You know, for Stoughton, I'd probably have to go with Staplefelt. I mean, just everywhere. When things were not working real well for him, he just kept going. I don't think he ended up in the box more than once. I think he was only
2. He had those back-to-back in the second period,
That's right.
/ in the head contact.
Right. Outside of that, he just kept everywhere he needed to be, so I was pretty impressed with him. On the other side, there's so many to go with. I mean, it's so easy to look at the scoring and everything else. I'm going with Zymek. Zymek was just money everywhere he was. I mean, he ended up with 1 goal, I believe. Maybe he assisted a goal or something along those lines. But he was just everywhere, picking off passes, moving good pucks, turnovers. He just looked solid.
Stoughton, they're taking a knee at the end of the game. Their coach talking with them. Good to see that sort of show of solidarity as a team. I absolutely agree with you on Zymek in particular. He's a guy who's been kind of a role player for these Panthers, and we saw him today really kind of break out and become sort of a force in the game. And we really saw something from him that I don't feel like I've seen previously, which is a lot of speed. He really was moving with some speed. For myself, for the Vikings, I like Sam Wallen. Wallen had their goal. That wraparound goal was really nice. That is a hard one to execute, especially against a goalie like Jacob Ayers. Now you could say early in the first period he caught him napping or something like that. I don't think that's what it was. I think he just really played that one well, and he was instrumental in the breakouts that they did have, using his speed to get through the neutral zone. And then for the Panthers, man, like you said, it's an embarrassment of riches here. Everyone played so well. I think I am going to go with Tristan Hughes. We saw Hughes get lit up for the unsportsmanlike conduct, and I didn't see what it was, so I don't want to be light on that. Nevertheless, he played great. Had a hat trick at least. I have him on 3 goals. I have him on 4 goals. Take it back. No, 3, because one of those is a penalty. But had him on those. Just he's a heck of a player. He really knows. He sees the ice super well. Understands where his teammates are. Can pass the puck, can shoot the puck, can do everything that you want him to do. Very, very solid forward.
Absolutely, and again, I've been hard on Hughes all season, and I got to be honest, I'm a little bit on his side here with that unsportsmanlike call, because it seemed that he had an issue with his equipment. And I don't know if the ref understood that or wasn't going to listen, and maybe wasn't giving him the benefit of the doubt. Either way, he had a heck of a game. The last goal he had just shows where he can pick corners, and the one right before that on that just wide open net, it was all his skating and movement. The one thing that I really like about him is you never see him with his skates not moving. He's out there moving everywhere, and sometimes you see him cherry picking all the way up, but he is the first one to check back. So I've been very impressed with that. And Wallen was just amazing. And again, it was a pretty goal. Seeing a wraparound. As a goalie, I'm partial. I hate those goals more than anything else. But just solid play all the way around.
Absolutely. Folks, we didn't have a whole lot of time in this game. There was so much action, despite the fact that it was a bit lopsided. So let me just finally thank our last few sponsors, the Oregon Chamber of Commerce, the Oregon Athletic Boosters Club, and, of course, the Oregon School District for its ongoing support. Very much thanks to them. Again, thanks to the crowd, and the nurses, and the athletic trainers who helped care for the gentleman who was struck by the puck early on. Like I said, everything seems to be good. He's just going to the hospital for precautionary reasons, so we sure hope he's all right. Wish him our best from everyone here at OCAmedia. For our camera operator and producer, Ben, my partner, Dan Graychuk, my name is Zach Seeloff saying so long, and we'll see you next for hockey on Thursday at the LeBon Arena against Madison Edgewood. Take care, everybody.